We're going to dive deep into one of our top stories today, and that's the release of body cam footage from Grand Rapids Police after two officers exchanged gunfire yesterday with a suspect. We're going to bring in now with our 10 News Side's Cali Lichter here in studio. Cali, you worked on this story today, kind of an expansion of our original reporting from yesterday. We're going to play the video in full for folks at home to watch. We saw some snippets during your package that aired earlier tonight, but give us some of the context of what folks are about to see.
Yeah, so this kind of starts as officers are in southeast Grand Rapids area. There isn't a lot of information on what led up to this. You know, it's still under investigation and it's in the hands of the Michigan State Police. But two officers come across an 18-year-old man, is known to the officers on a first name basis. And you'll see them ask, you know, hey buddy, come here. And then all of a sudden there's shots fired from this 18-year-old and then there's shots exchanged with the Grand Rapids police officers. Yeah,
and we're going to talk more about what we know post this video being released in this incident yesterday. So let's show that video now.
.11 traffic stop. Litter in first.
Careful. Come here a minute, buddy. Yeah, talk to you.
Stewart in first.
1617 14.
1817, shots fired.
Shots fired.
Where are they mapping?
Eastbound Adams from Blaine.
.11 traffic stop. Litter in first.
Come here a minute, buddy. We gotta talk to you. Keep your hands out of your pocket. Come here.
Stewart in first.
1817, shots fired. Are you hit? You're hit? No, are you hit?
Shots fired.
Reloading.
Eastbound Adams from Blaine. Blaine and Oakdale. Units 10-4 for now.
.11 traffic stop. Litter in first.
Careful. Come here a minute, buddy. Do me a favor, keep your hands out of your pockets. Keep your hands out of your pockets. Come here. .1817, shots fired. You're hit? No. 1817 is going to be. He's going eastbound on the alley off of Blaine, just south of Adams.
Okay, so that's the video in full. There's some information that plays at the top of it. If you'd like to watch that video again, you can up on our website right now. We've got the full video. Let's talk a little bit more about it, Kelly. So obviously two officers there, they pull onto a side street. There's actually two people that you can see, but it's the person, you know, closer to them that they end up exchanging the gunfire with. You hear all of those gunshots, and it is really miraculous that no one was hit, suspect or officers.
Yeah.
And we learned that this was a training officer and a rookie, someone that had only been on the job for, what, a month and a half, I think?
6 weeks, I believe, and I believe it was the officer who was driving. I know there was concern on Chief Eric Winstrom's part, is this officer still going to want to be a police officer after this incident? But
Sure.
he said that as far as he knows, he talked to him, and that officer still wants to remain on the force. But both of those officers are on paid administrative leave as per policy as Michigan State Police investigates this.
Yeah, and that's all very routine that we see happen here. Police have not publicly released a suspect name yet. We're waiting on that man to be arraigned. We know that it's an 18-year-old man, so, an adult, but a younger person. As far as the chief spoke for quite a while today, and we're going to play what he has to say a little in just a moment. But what struck you from what he, had to say today?
So, he can't comment on the law or, other things as Michigan State Police does their investigation. It's kind of out of his hands. And they're conducting the full investigation since, no one was hit. Luckily, in this instance, I know a tire of the police cruiser was hit, and I believe a house was also hit, but no person was hit. They have a little more flexibility on how this investigation goes, so Michigan State Police is handling both, the officer's shots fired, and then also the other side of things. Winstrom believes that the man will be charged with assault with intent to murder. So what struck me was, his repeating of he's proud to be the chief of the Grand Rapids Police Department, and kind of, more so commenting on this could have been a lot different of a situation had things gone differently. Saying he was kind of proud on the way that things were handled, and less words than he probably could comment on since it's in the hands of the Michigan State Police. But that really struck me. How in a lot of these situations, Winstrom always likes to reiterate that he stands behind his officers and the conduct that they displayed in certain situations, and also saying that this suspect he believes was out there to kill the officers, or that was the intent in that situation. Of course, we'll have to wait and see from court documents, from what comes out of this Michigan State Police investigation, on if we get a motive on why this 18-year-old allegedly pulled out the gun and started shooting at police, or if there was another reason for it. Yeah,
we've got a couple of clips that I pulled this afternoon from what the chief had to say at that press conference. Take a listen.
I've watched it several times, and it is, even with 25 years of experience in dealing with traumatic situation, it is a stark reminder how quickly a situation can go from mundane to deadly dangerous. Kudos to these police officers, one of whom is an officer in training, 6 weeks on the street with a field training officer. In this case, I am so thankful that an individual who is willing to, when approached by police officers, turn and attempt to murder 2 police officers, is now off the street, and hopefully will be off the street for a very long time. This is exactly what we're asking those officers to do. We get a lot of complaints about different things in the city as far as crime, but I've said since day one, violent crime, especially violent crime against our young people, is our top priority, and these officers are out proactively taking illegally possessed guns off people, statistically 1-2 times every day. Very professionally, very well done. That's what they were out doing yesterday. I'm so thankful they weren't hurt. I'm so thankful that this gun is off the street.
And the chief talked a lot about that on sort of the back half of the press conference, was the work that the department's done to pull illegal guns off the street. And ultimately that ropes into why they were pulling over this person who he also mentioned was known to police, and his name was actually redacted out of that video several times.
Yeah, it was. Well, again, we don't know exactly why they decided to, stop and want to talk to this young man. But he was a suspect in a firearm theft from I believe it was a house. It wasn't like, went to a store and stole a gun, but he was a suspect in that theft. But again, as far as we know, Winstrom says he believes he'll be charged with assault with intent to murder and not something on that firearm theft at this point in time. And, there was questions asked during the press conference that were not answered for, a variety of reasons, just because of the ongoing investigation and other ongoing investigations. If this man was known by the police department, what is his criminal history? Again, we don't have the name. We don't know anything at this point. And Winstrom couldn't talk, to his, if he had a juvenile record, that's sealed. That's not something that really anyone can access. But when it comes to this other things, he said, there was someone on the street who was willing to allegedly fire at police officers. That could open up to a whole other slew of things. Maybe there could have been a press conference about him killing someone else out there in the neighborhood. So as far as we know, that's all we know, and we'll continue to update everyone. I'll definitely be on top of it to find out when this man is arraigned and formally charged.
Yeah, that's the next step we'll wait for and then see where the case goes from there. Again, if you'd like to watch that entire video released by Grand Rapids Police Department, you can find that on our website right now. Cali, we appreciate you providing some context for this, and of course, we'll continue to follow this case as it moves forward.